So I was able to do over $54,000 in sales my very first month on Amazon FBA. But as you guys know, sales, it's just revenue. That doesn't equal profit. So let's talk about some of my expenses and really talk about how much the business actually made. My first big expense was the overall cost of the product. It cost $5.80. We did some by ocean shipment, some by plane shipment. On average, it was around $5.20 to get the product shipped to me for a total of around $11 per unit. So my cost of product was around $17,292. Next, you have to pay the fees to be able to sell on Amazon. First of all, they do have a referral fee. This is around 15%, and that was around $8,198. And next is the Amazon fulfillment fee. This is the fee you pay for Amazon to basically ship, pick, pack, and ship your product out to the customer. And that was around $7,781. Now there's a bunch of other miscellaneous fees tacked in there. I don't know the exact amount, but I know it was roughly around $1,000, which leaves me with an overall profit of $20,382. That's absolutely insane. That would take me 4 months bartending to even make anywhere near that much money. But there were a lot of mistakes we made. We probably cost ourselves over 100 grand in sales. And not to mention, there's a lot of startup costs for this business, which I'm sure we're gonna talk about in this video as well.
And we're gonna share step by step how AJ created his business, what his product is, every single cost he had when starting his business, as well as at the end of the video, we'll talk about the biggest mistake he made that cost him over $100,000 and the number one thing you should know before you try to start a business or make money online. So smash the like button because AJ's story is crazy.
So after I lost my job as a bartender, I was devastated. I tried to find work everywhere, but everything was shut down. But I realized one marketplace was doing really well. The online marketplace. It was thriving. So I figured, how can I figure out a way to make money with this online marketplace? And that's where I joined Travis's passion product formula. It's this course where it basically teaches you how to sell your own passion product. And I was in there for a couple months, and I'll be honest, I was struggling. I was learning a lot, but I could not come up with an idea to save my life.
I saw that AJ was smart, hardworking, and that he was passionate about bartending and cocktails. So I thought, let's turn that passion into a business.
I was so excited to be able to do something cocktail related, something I'm passionate about. I have 10 years bartending experience, and the timing was perfect. I had so many people reaching out to me for cocktail recipes at the time because, well, everything was shut down. But I did have to start the business somehow. And it really started on social media. I started posting on Instagram, on YouTube, and eventually on TikTok. And the best part about building a brand on social media is it's free. So once I started getting a little momentum on social media, I started funneling people into my Facebook launch group. Now in this group, I had strangers, I had friends, I had family. It was a pretty small group, but I was drawing literally flashcards with Sharpies and getting feedback on design. And then I was able to reach out to a designer and ask for a sample of work. So a logo, a box design, and a couple cards for a sample. And then around the same time, I started reaching out to manufacturers. We did find a manufacturer and they were able to send us what's called a dummy sample. This is a box with no print, no design on it, but it's a way for you to feel the actual, what the product's gonna look like, what's gonna feel like in the hands, the thickness, all that type of stuff. Now, a dummy sample for me was free. However, I did have to pay $45 for the shipping. I literally took the sample design, printed it on sticker paper, and slapped it on the dummy sample box to be able to take photos and record a video with it so I could actually use Travis's method of raising money on Kickstarter. Now, we actually weren't able to use Kickstarter. We ended up going with Indiegogo, which is an extremely similar type of website, and we actually did pretty well. We had a goal of around $1,500, and in the 2 weeks of running the Indiegogo campaign, we were able to raise over $4,500.
This was enough for us to hire a designer, which cost around $1,700. And the designer created the logo as well as all the different designs on all the cards. We also hired an editor on Upwork for around $150 to double check all the cards and make sure there was no mistakes. And once the designs were finished and finalized, we sent those files over to the manufacturer and spent around $290 to get a printed sample made and sent over to us to double check.
And once I finally got that finished product in my hand, I started promoting it heavy on TikTok. Now, I did have one TikTok in particular talk about my entire story of losing my job as a bartender and creating this product to now I finally have something to hold in my hand, a real life product. and it went viral. And as this video got bigger and bigger and bigger, we kept sending them to Indiegogo where they can pre-order the cards. We were able to raise over $22,000 in a single day. And that was able to pay for the entire first production run.
We were originally going to order 1,000 units, which would have cost around $8 a unit, but instead we decided to order 1,500 units, which lowered the price to around $6 a unit. So the first production run ended up costing over $9,000.
And once the production was done, we still had to pay to get the product shipped to my house. So like I said, we did some that were air shipment and some by sea shipment, and the numbers came out to around $2,600 for sea shipping and around $4,200 for the air shipping.
And it's important to remember that air shipping your product from China to the United States is a lot faster, but also a lot more expensive.
So this is where things got really tough for me. First of all, probably 20% of my units showed up damaged, especially the ones that were sent by air shipping. That was around $3,000 worth of units that I just couldn't sell because they had nicks and dents in them. And then of course, pre-selling all those units, I had to actually ship them out myself. I had to buy a label printer, I had to buy boxes, I had to buy tape, and I had to literally package and ship out every single order by hand. It was a lot of work.
I flew out to Seattle to help AJ pack and ship some boxes, as well as have some delicious cocktails. But to be honest, he did 99% of the work on his own.
But one thing that is a bonus is because we had a brand and we were sold out of inventory, we actually had people willing to buy the damaged boxes. So I sold them at a discount and I at least made back the $3,000 I lost. So after I shipped out those pre-orders, I had around 160 units left. I sent those into Amazon, but it does take a couple weeks for Amazon to check in your product. So I started really focusing and doubling down on the social media, especially on TikTok. And then we scheduled out our real official Amazon launch date and really tried to do like a big event for being the first day on Amazon. And we had a few sales, probably 5 or 6 boxes sold, but not a whole lot of action on day one until I decided to post a TikTok talking about my entire journey, all the way from losing my job to creating cocktail cards, raising money, and getting to a point where I'm actually launching my product on Amazon. And it went ultra viral, over 5.7 million views. This went viral so fast that I sold out of my entire inventory in just 4 hours. And then I'm freaking out because thousands of people are reaching out to me. How do I get your cards? And I basically had to redirect them to the Indiegogo platform and literally just have them pre-order for the next round of products. That day was so insane. But at this point, I was out of inventory and I had so many pre-orders that by the time I got my next shipment in, I had none left to send into Amazon. So not only am I shipping out and packing up all these orders by myself, I have nothing left to send into Amazon, so I had to wait multiple months to be able to get back on the platform. Now, we actually also had to fight against long production times, and shipping times are at like an all-time high right now. It took forever for the product to come, so I utilized that time to really focus on building out my own personal website where I was able to raise around an additional $25,000 in pre-sales, waiting for the production run and waiting for the product to get here. And eventually my product arrived and I was able to send in 2,000 units on Amazon. So once everything got checked in and we had our second release day on Amazon, let's talk about how well we did. So my first day on Amazon, we're able to do 326 units. That's over $11,406 in revenue. And of course, we have the cost of the product, which was $3,586. And then we have our Amazon selling fees. So the seller's fee was $1,711. And then of course, the fulfillment fee, that was $1,613. That first day I had about $100 in miscellaneous fees, leaving me with a profit of $4,396. It felt so good to finally be selling on Amazon and to not have to ship out any of those orders. It was awesome. But I knew that day was going to be really big. I had an email list and people were waiting for it to be launched on Amazon. So the real test was to see how it would do over the course of the next week. So by the end of the week, I finished with around 679 units sold. This brought in a little over $23,700 in revenue. The cost of the product was around $7,490. And my Amazon selling fees for this time period was $3,563. Now the fulfillment fee was around $3,361, and I also had around $300 of miscellaneous fees, leaving me with a little over $9,000 in profit on my first week on Amazon. But of course the real test is, how does your product do over the course of a month? Now that's what we started the video with. We finished with 1,572 units, bringing in a little bit over $54,000 in revenue. You take away all of the costs of the business, that leaves us with a profit of $20,382.
But we made 3 big mistakes with the business that ended up costing us over $100,000.
Well, first of all, we decided to send a lot of our inventory by air shipment versus sea shipment. That cost $18,000 more. So while we did get our inventory a month faster, it pretty much cut our profit in half. And number 2, this is a big one. It's me trying to do too much work in my business. You may not know this, but I was actually featured on national television on Access Hollywood talking about cocktail cards. And I've also been on dozens of podcasts, and this have led to a lot of sales. But I've had to turn down a lot of these opportunities as well because I'm just so busy. I'm busy responding to emails, replying to comments on social media, recording and editing all my own content. Things I can easily outsource for relatively cheap that would free up my time so I can do more of those marketing interviews, which would lead to a lot more sales and grow my business a lot faster. And number 3, this is our biggest problem, is inventory. We've been out of stock for 3 months. We probably missed out on over $100,000, maybe even $150,000 worth of sales simply because we haven't gone all in on inventory until this point.
And the number one thing that AJ told me that he learned during this entire experience is
that there is a new way of selling on Amazon, creating a unique product, something you're passionate about, and using a cheat code like social media to blow up your brand. It can make you a lot of money, and it can help you create a very valuable business. Travis did ask me to do a full walkthrough tutorial on how I created cocktail cards, got it on Amazon, and utilized social media to blow up my brand. So if you guys want to see that, we'll put a link to that video right here. Thanks again for having me on the channel. Hopefully I'll see you soon, but until next time, cheers.